episode 206. We are live on YouTube, both the TequiLadies YouTube and on Brad's YouTube. Here's hoping. But without further ado, we do two things to start every show. Thing number one is this thing we like to call Smile Like an Asshole, where we smile for 10 seconds straight so that we all are smiling at the same time, which, believe it or not, does not happen organically. So let's get it rolling. We typically tell people if they own a brand, hold up their tequila. But Brad does something cool as well that is not a tequila brand, although he is a brand. Brad is a brand. So Brad, without further ado, are you ready?
I guess so, yeah.
All right, everyone, let's smile.
I'm gonna hold up the Ensueño Repo because that's what I'm drinking and it's really
Ooh,
good.
nice. I am drinking Quinta Lisa. So let's do it. ¿Estamos listos?
Listos.
All right. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, no seis, siete, ocho, nueve, diez. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's thing number one.
And we only have special Brads on the show.
I am definitely
Well,
special.
Brads on the show.
Cool. I will talk to anyone. You want to bring on a brand that typically I don't like, I want to talk to them even more because I'd love to know why and what. And so, yeah, every brand is special like a snowflake. A lot of snow on the East Coast. Next thing we do, thing number two, is we do this thing where we cheers and we say who we're toasting to from the week. We never make our guests go first. I think last week I went first. I can't remember. How did you go first?
I went first last week.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I am drinking Quinta Lisa High Proof, but I mixed it with stuff, which I never do. It is amazing like this. So I've got a little bit of Liquor 43 and some orange bitters in here on the rocks. It is so freaking good. And I want to cheers, although I know next week I'm going to do this again. I want to cheers to Keith from Sip Tequila because this weekend is Sip Fest, Sip Tequila Fest down in Stuart, Florida. It is the fourth annual, I don't know, it's all but a construct. It is an unbelievable event where they have 50 brands and you can try everything. And then unlike most tequila festivals, when you are done trying stuff or midway, you can go buy the bottle. You can just go walk inside and buy the bottle. So it's an unbelievable, unrivaled event. I love it. I have gone the last 3 years and I will be there this weekend in Florida, despite all the snow up east. Potentially because of all the snow. No, I was gonna go anyway. So cheers to Keith, and I'm drinking Quinta Lisa High Proof.
Cheers. And I'm sorry I can't be there. Cheers.
God, that's good. All right, Heidi.
I'm drinking
What are
the
you drinking?
Ensueño Reposado aged in the rum cask. This is the batch one. I don't have the batch two. But I'm going to cheers. I'm in Tennessee and we got slammed with snow. Everything's still melting. Trees are still falling. So I want to cheers to like all the first responders and also to a restaurant called Maíz de la Vida. It's a great Mexican restaurant in Nashville. And they didn't open because they were feeding people, preparing meals for people that couldn't have food because they had no power. So
Whoa.
it was really, really cool that they did that. So cheers to the first responders and Maíz de la Vida.
Love
Cheers.
that. Cheers.
Well, I'm drinking this amazing Lost Lore Baramba. It's one of my favorites. And you kind of stepped exactly where I was going. We had 13 inches of snow. It's been crazy here. So I was going to cheers all of the people that spend tireless hours in those trucks, clearing the roads and the parking lots for us to be able to go to Total Wine and our favorite liquor stores when it's really cold and nasty outside. So cheers to those guys that have worked, guys and gals who have worked just a ton of hours.
You
Cheers.
guys' audience, guys and gals, love that. Cheers.
I still haven't been out in my car. Anderson did because he's got four-wheel drive. I don't. But I think tomorrow I'm going to venture out.
I went shopping during the storm.
Jeez.
I figured everybody else did it before and panic buy, and so there'd be nobody at the store. So my wife's Bronco drove me up to Meijer, no problem, and we walked in the store, and maybe me and 3 other people, and I could pick up I got all of the things my wife wanted, and I needed some super glue and Topo Chico, and I came home without super glue or Topo Chico, but I remembered all the stuff she wanted.
Super glue and Topo Chico. Okay, I now have a game that we are going to play after you do an intro of who you are.
Okay.
You are awesome in the industry. I think a lot of people know you. Tons of people have certainly tuned into your own show. But why don't you give the 30-second elevator pitch for the people who might not know who you are and are just meeting your awesomeness for the first time? So who are you, Brad?
Well, I'm just a mortgage guy in Indianapolis, Indiana. I've been in the mortgage business for Be 30 years in February. I'm a musician, and I have a podcast called the Indiana Success Happy Hour. And my buddy Brian on that podcast is the one that said that I should do tequila content because I've loved tequila, for the last 25 years. So I started doing content, and from there it just kind of took off, and it's a blast. And the community and the people are amazing, and the tequila is amazing. And this is a lot of work. Anybody who tells you it's not a lot of work to do this is crazy, but it is a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not techie savvy like me, like computers, it's extra work.
It's crazy.
I gotta tell you, I don't feel that tech savvy lately either, but okay.
Today's been a tech challenge day.
But Brad is one of the beloved members of the tequila community for many reasons. His tequila prowess, certainly, but also his generosity with his time and the things he knows. He helped us with Riverside when we were trying to get up and running on a different platform. He called me today for over 20 minutes trying to talk me through how to live stream on both our site and on his. So he's very generous with his time, which is what we all appreciate about a lot of people in the community. We all bring something different. So thank you, Brad.
Yeah. And a wealth of knowledge and a musician. What do you play?
So I play guitar and sing. Actually, you probably don't remember this, but I got to meet you in a tequila aisle in Brentwood, Total
Yes.
Wine. I was down. I play guitar and have worked and done some studio work in Nashville and played guitar before he got famous. A guy named Riley Green, who's a country singer. So we were down there, and I wanted to go pick up some tequila, and I had my Respecto shirt on, right, the one
From Grover.
tequila matchmaker, and I'm going down through the aisles, and this lovely lady says, "Are you looking for some tequila?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm thinking about getting the Cascahuin Tahona because they don't have this where I live." And she's like, "Oh, good choice." And then Heidi told me about what she does on the internet, and as soon as I got in the car, I followed her on my Instagram and sent her a message, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I watched her from the beginning. I watched a lot of Jay Bear, and then found Doug and Tequila Collective, and those were all people that I was watching before I ever started doing any content. So thanks for meeting me in the Total Wine aisle in Brentwood.
That's always so much fun. And so you were in the tequila aisle. You obviously knew tequila because you were getting the Cascahuin Tahona. So
Talking about
and your
Cascahuin
friend,
Tahona, like that's street cred right there.
Good
yeah,
stuff.
and your friend told you should have a tequila podcast because you love tequila. So how long have you been on your tequila journey? Like when did you start really drinking good tequila?
And when did you meet Heidi? How long ago was that meeting?
So that would have been so August. I've been doing this a year, so it would have been like around CMA Fest timeframe, June of 2024
Yep.
would be about the time frame that we
is-
met. Yeah,
It's
and then
definitely timing for people in Nashville. But like I know what you mean.
first really good tequila that brought me to tequila, 2003 in October at Sammy Hagar's birthday party. I had the ceramic bottle Cabo Wabo, the one that was made at El Viejito, and that sucked me into tequila. And then Cabo Wabo sold, right, and the tequila kind of turned to crap. And I kind of moved towards bourbon. I started not liking that tequila. It was wintertime, so it was an easy transition going into drink bourbon. Fell into bourbon for a couple of years. Got some Clase Azul and was like, oh, this is really good. And the funniest thing is I joined the All Things Tequila Facebook page. And All Things Tequila, right? CJ Agave's
I know
Facebook
nothing
page.
about this. I'm about to look it up.
30,000, one of the largest groups, 30,000 members of that Facebook group.
What? Let's go back.
So I joined that group, and I put something in there about, one of the tequilas that you shouldn't drink, right? And yeah, that's it, All Things Tequila. So I joined that group. I said something about Clase Azul or Casamigos or something, and these people, like, they came at me like a mob. Like, I thought they were
Got
going to
reamed.
kill me.
So wait, hold on. This All Things Tequila group.
So
Yeah.
these Facebook groups, Marissa, like they are
Vicious.
ruthless in there.
Oh.
They will.
I mean,
rip you
I'm not a
apart.
part of any of them. For
Yeah.
one, my Facebook is my Facebook. Like I'm part of
Right.
the generation that we got it in high school, and so
Yep.
I don't need people seeing the evolution of Marissa. Like I don't
Sure.
need that.
Right.
But also, I just really don't use Facebook that much. But I'm scrolling through this, and there's some good stuff, and then there's some weird.
But
Okay,
you
so
always get somebody on there that is
Oh,
like,
look!
what does everybody think of this? And they'll show something. Yep.
And it's
so
the King Lisa High Proof that I'm drinking right now. That's
Mhm.
amazing.
so let's say you like, oh, this Terramana is amazing, right? There's going to be 1,000 people tell you how stupid you are for drinking that and how you're just a
2001
worthless
if I
person.
join. But-
So I got so mad that I quit the Facebook page. I got out of it. But one thing I took away from it was somebody said, hey, all these people are mean, but you should try Ocho. So I literally got in the car, drove to the store, bought some Ocho, and I came home and went, this tastes the closest thing to that old school Cabo Wabo that I drank. And that is the tequila that put me in the rabbit hole. And then if you want to hear something really crazy, last February, my wife and I had a trip planned to Tequila. And I rejoined the Facebook page after I learned that maybe my ways weren't really right. And
Well, there's no right and I mean,
I know it. You know what I'm saying. So the
Yeah.
people wouldn't throw darts at me, and I don't like those tequilas anyway. So I joined the group back, and I posted on there that we were heading down in February, and CJ Agave, the guy that runs that same Facebook page, messaged me and said, "Hey, we're going down, that same week." And he's like, "Where's your trip?" And I'm like, "Well, we go to Tequila for this many days, and then Arandas for this many days." And he's like, "That's crazy because we're doing the exact same trip." So we were like, okay, let's meet up. Where are you staying? Casa Sayas. Okay, so are we. Oh, and there's like, what tours do you have? And the tours I had, he didn't have. The tours he had, I didn't have. So we joined up and did all the tours together. We get to the Dallas airport. We're sitting in the same aisleway on the
No.
plane. So our whole trip was 10 days of us, hanging out together and getting to meet, the guy of the group that brought me really back to real tequila. And it was just such a big, comeback moment to the whole thing. So it was pretty cool.
I think that's a really unique moment for the tequila community. And I think we all have our weird, unique moments that were big and important to us. And one of the things about the tequila community that I really like is I think people are all very vocal, obviously, but they're also very willing to share anything they have and anything they know with anyone who's willing to listen.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to listen, that's when people sort of jump on you. And I get upset when people jump on people who are trying to learn. I think, there is a little bit of posturing and people want to act like they know something. But Heidi always says, drink what you like, but know what's in your glass. And I certainly agree with that. I'm going to Sip Tequila Fest. Sip is the house that Cava de Oro built in many ways. And Cava de Oro is like for Clase Azul for you was the tequila that got me into tequila. And I will drink Cava de Oro to this day. I will drink it as dessert. I know what I'm drinking. I'm not expecting an agave bomb, and that's okay. Like if I drink Diet Coke, why can't I drink Cava de Oro?
Yeah.
So I do think the tequila community has a way to go in terms of how they treat people who are trying to learn. But certainly, it's an incredible community in the sense that if I met you, Brad, for the first time, I've got to believe, if you were in New York, I would take you around. I would show you everything. I would share everything I knew. And same with if I were ever in Indianapolis, I believe we would be really good friends. And that's what makes me so excited about the festivals like this one, the one this weekend. I'm going to meet a lot of people. So, yeah.
They're so cool.
The
I
best
did.
part of the festivals. Hey, I just want to say, going back to these pages and all the drama, I will admit, when I first got on those pages, I had some arguments with people on those pages, and I had to stop doing that. I think Grover is the one that reached out to me because I was tequila matchmaker, and if it's not additive free, blah blah blah. And he was like, I really really appreciate all your support, but all you can do is just give the information. Not everybody's gonna jump on board, and you're just throw the information on the wall, and if it sticks, it sticks, and if not, you just let it go. And so that's what I do now is I let it go, and I feel bad for people now because they really don't know. They get on these groups and they post pictures of these beautiful bottles they bought that they're probably thinking they're going to get praise for, and then they just get ripped a new one. Yeah.
But if they love it,
Yes.
they love it, and that bottle makes them happy.
Yep.
Is it wrong?
No.
Right.
So Brad, speaking of bottles, you have an unbelievable collection.
I don't think so. I see much bigger collections than mine.
Okay, but love your humbleness. So Midwest of you. Your collection's insane. Like, if you had to take a guess, like, how many bottles do you think you have?
476. I counted them the other day.
Okay, so you could drink a bottle a day for a year and a quarter and still not get through it all. That's incredible.
That's a
And
problem, though. I do drink a lot, and like,
You take a good antioxidant?
so I take a lot of medicine. I want to go back to that taste, about tequila, people drinking what they don't like. I like vegetables. You probably like vegetables. I'm not a fan of asparagus, but I've never got up at a restaurant and ran over to somebody's table and told them that asparagus isn't good.
Yeah.
So why am I standing next to a guy in a urinal telling him that his Clase Azul is not a good tequila? And that goes back to your meme, right? Like, why? Who cares if that person likes that? Let them like it.
I think it's more about
agree.
where the asparagus was from and how it was prepared.
but Heidi, I think Brad's point stands, right? Like, we are so selective about the stuff that we care about. Like the additive movement, the additive free movement, we were all like, oh, don't drink that, like it has additives. But then the same people are eating McDonald's, drinking Diet
I'm gonna
Coke.
Diet Coke, yeah.
What's the difference? So I always think as long as you are aware of what you're doing, like if you drink Casamigos and then you say to me, I love authentic tequila, well, okay, now there's time to have a conversation.
Right.
But if you're
Yeah.
drinking Cascahuine and you're like, I just don't like the agave forwardness, I don't like the vegetal, I don't like that's okay. You don't have to like it.
Right.
But you know that that's authentic tequila and we're okay. I
Yeah.
think where the community takes issue is when people say things like what I just said. I love tequila. I'm such a tequila person. I love Casamigos. Clase Azul is the best. 1942. Like all the tequilas that we've all tried and at some point potentially liked. But I think I think it's the honesty of knowing what you're drinking that is what we should be focusing on more than criticizing. Like Brad, I love that point. I'm not running up to someone's table going, why are you eating asparagus? Though at a bar, I will stop someone and be like, please do. You don't want that. You don't want.
Hey, Brad, I want to know, how did you get into Sammy Hagar's birthday party? How were you at his party?
Okay, so it's an open thing. So Sammy Hagar throws a 4-day party in October every year over his birthday week. And back in the old days, you had to go sleep in the streets and be in line for a couple of days. There's only so many tickets, or you paid a Mexican to sleep in line to get your tickets.
I'm sorry. Do you sleep in line?
No, I never slept in line. No, never, ever.
Jesus.
Over the years of going there every year, we got to know a lot of people in management and became friends. We didn't just go once a year. We went to Cabo often. So the managers, Jorge, one of the owners, they all become close friends. So when it would come time for the tickets, it switched to a lottery system. And every year you had to put in try to get at least one or two of the 4-night tickets. And I'd always, usually win one. But when we'd get there, our friends that work at the cantina would always make sure that we got in, almost every night. And so we've seen Sammy play with many, many guests over the years. There's always people that come down. Toby Keith was a regular, so we've always seen Toby every year. Kenny Chesney came down and has done a couple shows. Kid Rock, the dude from the Man in the Box song, Alice in Chains. What's the guitar player's name and the singer? He's there every year. Jerry Cantrell. He's there every year. So lots of, other musicians. Chad Kruger's there all the time. Kenny Aronoff's been there a lot. So it's just a really fun couple-hour concert. 700, 800 people or so crammed inside the Cabo Wabo Cantina. And he usually plays on the 7th, the 9th, the 11th, and the 13th. And the 13th is his actual birthday. So, yeah.
That's cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Really cool. And so there's like a day buffer in between.
Yeah, he sings pretty hard, and he's 76 years old. So to see him come out there, that's proof that tequila is good for you, better than being a vegan. Look at a picture of Bill Clinton next to Sammy Hagar and tell me who looks better.
Is Bill Clinton is Bill Clinton vegan?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he went vegan a couple years ago.
Yeah. There's a meat joke in there, but now that we're on YouTube, I'm trying to keep
What did you just say?
There's a meat joke in there, but now that we're on YouTube, I'm trying to keep it clean.
Yeah. So it's just a fun party. Go down, hang out. It does help. Like anything, the more people you get to meet, the more people you treat with respect and make other people feel special.
Yep.
Those people will make you feel special. And we just always have treated those people as our friends. They are our friends and go out of our way for them. So it's pretty cool. What the coolest thing we do there? We've done this for 5 years. This year will be our 6th year. My buddy Bill, who's a guitar player from Chicago, we show up at a bar called Sancho's on one of the off nights. It's a bar. You're shaking your head because you've been there before.
My family went to Cabo once or twice a year for 20 years. That's how I got
Yeah.
into Tequila.
So at Sancho's, we set up at noon. He and I each bring an acoustic guitar, hook up our mics, and we played last year for 4.5 hours. We raised 59,000 pesos for a local, it's a charity that has an orphanages and helps young children. And so we raised 59,000 pesos in 4.5 hours, all from tips, all from people hanging out, throwing money in a jar. So this year we're doing something a little bit bigger. Our goal is to raise 100,000. So we're going to do a show in Indianapolis, and then we're going to do a show in Chicago, and they're going to wind up doing the show at Sancho's. And our goal is to raise 100,000 pesos for the charity there. So,
100,000 pesos.
That's amazing. Wait, and this guy, did you say he's from Chicago or?
yeah, his name is Wild Bill.
Okay,
him
I
and
thought
his
you meant he
daughter
was
play.
in the band Chicago.
No. He's just from the city of Chicago.
So
Okay.
yeah, like 100,000 pesos is an incredible goal. That's like,
Yeah.
assume a 20% exchange rate, so about $5,000. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It is January 27th. I try to run 50 kilometers per month, which sounds more impressive than 31.08 miles. So that's why I do kilometers versus miles. Similarly, like doing pesos versus dollars. Love it, into it.
Sounds better.
But Brad, okay, so your collection is incredible. Your impact is indelible. You must have people show up to your house or like your tasting room who have varying levels of knowledge, right? You've got to get the people who certainly are like 10 out of 10 know what they're talking about, and then the people maybe on 1 or 2 who might be looking to become a 3 or a 4. When the 1s and 2s show up and they're showing like they want to know, what do you do? Like, what do you pour? What do you say? How does it work? Someone walks in.
So, that's a great question. And one of the things I do have Clase Azul and Familia Reserva and a whole stash of those tequilas. And like you, I get a lot of tequila sent to me that I don't know what that tequila is. And those tequilas, a lot of times get talked about on the show. And then other times there's a phone call with the owner and they go on that shelf because they maybe don't.
Say less.
Yeah. So when people come over and they're like, oh, I really love this tequila, I love Clase Azul. So I'm going to look for something that has a flavor profile that's near that. That's got a nice vanilla caramel, cooked agave flavor. That's going to be something clean, because there are tequilas that you can find that are going to be similar and say, here, try this. And then, hey, try this Robofino Añejo Partida tequila and taste that, and then let's taste this Repo, and then let's grab this Blanco, and I walk them through, trying to taste through those things, and then after we've done that, I go pour the Clase Azul for them. And
Okay.
So you do that last.
watch them spit it back in the glass because it tastes like medicine, or they don't like some of the flavors that are there. You don't, if you drink it first, then now you're drinking other things that, oh yeah, those are good. But if you drink it last, now you get the impact of what you're drinking. And we hold tastings here, so we'll do like tasting events. And thanks to Alex and the crew over at Siempre, the tasting events are usually Siempre Blanco Repo Añejo, and then I'll pull off some extra Añejo, and I'll pull off, a high proof. And I'll also add a Mezcal and Sol Tu Noches Sotol. And those are things that we taste through in a tasting. And then I ask them, hey, what's your favorite tequila? Oh, Herradura, Cristalino. Okay, here, let's grab some and try it. Oh, wait, I don't like that anymore. It lets them go back to what they liked and see that traditional tequila just tastes better and different than industrial tequila. And I talk in those terms more than I do additives or not.
Do you remember your first
genius.
tequila tasting that you did there, and like how many people were there and what you were feeling like?
The first one was a group of friends. I think we had like 14. The second one I actually donated to a fundraiser that they did as a silent auction. So the people that paid like $600, I didn't know. I knew one of them, they were a realtor, and I didn't know anybody else. And they did the tasting. And, the guy's like, how much do you charge for this? And I was like, I never have. I donated this for the charity. So, what's this worth? And he's like, $100 an hour. And I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. And a couple weeks later, they called me and he said, hey, I got 10 people that want to do a tasting like you did. I'll pay $100 a person. And so they came and we did that one with like 13 people. We've had another one with like 10. And I donated another one that so the same group I donated to, it sold for almost $1,000 for a children's charity. So we haven't scheduled that one yet, but yeah, it's pretty cool it's about a 3-hour long, time frame to talk through everything. I have videos that are on the TV above the bar, so I can refer to what a Tahona looks like and a roller mill. And fortunately I've been there to be able to take pictures and videos, of how that works. I've FaceTime Sergio Cruz during one, so there's like, it makes it really fun and interactive for people.
Wait,
That's
so
great.
when you have people over, like for a tasting, obviously there's some structure, but if somebody shows up and I love the way you were saying about ask them what they like first, find something similar that's well made, have them try the well made thing first, and then bring them back, because I do think the memory that they have of that tequila, the one that they originally said they like, is probably more favorable than the tequila itself, right? Typically, if you're learning, typically you're not learning, you're not drinking tequila like on your own. Maybe you're drinking it in a social context and you just like have a good positive association with it. So that's an interesting way of doing it. And then you keep like, I don't want to say bad bottles, but training wheels bottles. So that's kind of cool.
Industrial bottles.
What did you call them?
Industrial bottles.
Industrial bottles. Heidi, do you have any industrial bottles? Because I have a bottle of Clase Azul or not Clase Azul, Casamigos that I famously went for a run to go get because I needed it for a video. And I called all the bars in town on like a Tuesday morning and I was like, do you have any left? And they're like, we drank it all this weekend. And I was like, okay, cool. And I finally found a bar that had 1 ounce left. And I was like, I'll pay you for the ounce. Just give me the bottle. And then I ran. It was like a mile run. I just sprinted down there. And I got the bottle, and then they're like, "Oh no, there's still an ounce, but we're only going to sell it to you if you drink it." And I was like, "Well, fuck." So oops.
I don't think I have any industrial bottles. If I've ever had them, it's been like the little ones, just to like do a review or a video or something.
Yeah.
But I don't think I have any.
I have a Casa Dragones. I've never opened
I
it.
don't have
It's-
that. I mean, I used to because I bought one just to see what it tasted like,
It was a
a
gift.
smaller one. Oh, yours was a gift?
The Casa Dragones was a gift, and
Oh.
it has my logo on it because someone wanted to give me a really special gift. And I'm like looking
They
at it.
didn't. They didn't know.
didn't know?
And that's actually brings up a good question. Like Brad, what do you find is the most misunderstood thing about tequila
Ooh,
that
good question.
people have, especially
it-
since you do tastings too?
It's so many things. I have a lot of bourbon friends, right? I'm in Indiana, right? So we're a couple hours from the Bourbon Trail, and it's really a misunderstanding of the whole thing, and always going back to that bad first. I drank a bunch of Jose Cuervo and got sick in college, so I won't drink tequila anymore. That's probably the biggest thing, and
Yeah.
seeing their face, that's probably the biggest conversion that I have is taking a bourbon drinker to a tequila. So I always look for something XA or añejo that's going to appeal to that guy. And a lot of times I won't tell them what I poured. I'll say, hey, check this one out. See what you think of it. It's dark. It looks like a bourbon. They taste it and go, oh, wow, what is this? Those are the fun ones. But I think it's just the misconception of how tequila is made, period. The time frame of the plant, the traditional versus industrial methods, and how you can have a tequila, take Cascawin, for instance, how you can have, 10 different tequilas from one distillery, and they all are distinct enough that you can tell the difference. Yet, for us, people that drink it all the time have a thumbprint that we usually can pick it out and go, that's Cascawin, right? But
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's a neat thing for people. So it's really just misunderstanding the entire spirit, really.
I think you're right. A lot of people, I know when I'm out doing tastings and I'll sample like the bourbon guys here in Tennessee on a really good reposado or añejo or even like a high proof blanco, and they'll love it. And then I tell them the price and they're like, oh, it's good, but I'm not going to spend that much on tequila. And sometimes, like if it's not super busy, I'll say, do you mind if I ask why? Like, why would you say that? Well, tequila's like, that's a cheap spirit. And then I ask them if they have a little time, and I show them on my phone because I have little slides and stuff that show like the production, and I explain like this comes from a plant that takes at least 5 to 6 years to grow or longer, and this is how it's made, and they get it. And I think it like sinks in a little bit, not always enough to get them to like buy a bottle, but it kind of gets the wheels turning and gets them thinking. And I just feel like there's still a lot of people, and maybe it's just here in the South, that associate with tequila as being like kind of a cheap spirit. They don't realize everything that goes into it.
It's interesting to hear tequila being cheap because we all know the things that make tequila so unique, right? Like to your point, the fact that you have a spreadsheet or a slideshow.
Exactly.
A plus on that. But like,
She didn't bust that out on me at Total Wine, though.
It's like a little
I wanna see-
25-second video.
I want to run into Heidi at Total Wine. That's like my life goal. But no, like the 5 to 6 year maturation of the primary crop, right? It's one of the reasons that I always found Weber Ranch to be interesting. Vodka needs a potato or grain or any of these things that take a year to mature and then they regenerate. Why you would tether yourself to a crop that takes a minimum of 5, 6, 7, 8 years. It just didn't make sense to me from a supply chain standpoint. But that's one of the things that makes tequila unique. And then also denomination of origin, which a lot of spirits don't have, and that it has to be in certain regions. And oh my God.
Oh, that is awesome.
Oh, you are amazing. It froze.
That's
but
what
I'm
I
assuming-
show them.
Wait, you made this video?
Uh-huh.
Juicy? Oh my God. We should post this. This is
I
awesome.
mean, you should start doing some content creation.
Yeah, honey, you should
I
start.
do have
You're
enough
killing
to
it.
do a lot of content, but yeah.
Wow.
So anyways, yeah, so I show them that and I'm like, and then it goes in the bottle or it goes in a barrel and it gets aged for however many years, So then they're like, oh wow, we had no idea.
Like a decade. Like it's a decade. Some of these extra
It's a
like,
decade. Yeah.
it was a decade, right? Like, and things happen.
Yeah.
And tell me the terroir of the corn in that bourbon.
Right.
Like, there
Where
is
did it
none.
come from?
Yeah, who knows?
Love it.
So
Brad, your tequila journey is relatively new, relatively. So you prove that people can learn quickly and learn a lot.
yeah.
Well, 2003, that's a long time when he had his first good
Oh, I
tequila.
thought you said 2023.
No, 2003. 2003.
I wasn't even allowed to
ceramic
do that.
ceramic bottle Cabo Wabo. That's before the blue bottle.
That's when it was still good in 2003.
Actually, the blue bottle was really good as well. The blue bottle,
was?
it moved from El Viejito. It was only there for a very short time. Eduardo there got in some financial trouble because they sold more than what they thought they were. So some tax reasons, they moved to 1426, which today is where they make Nueve Uno. It's Naomi Partidas, the master distiller there in Amatatan. So
Yeah.
it switched from a Highland agave to a Valles agave, and it stayed there for the longest period of time before it sold. So most of the people that fell in love with blue bottle Cabo Wabo is what, pretty much Nueve Uno Repo, really tastes like. And if you think of how they do their aging there in their barrels, their Repo are some of the same barrels that the old Cabo Wabo set in. So
I have that. That's really good. You have that too, right, Marissa?
Yeah, they
Novo-
sent the whole lineup. They were very generous. And
Yeah.
and did we end up having her on? I know she rescheduled a few times.
We had somebody from there on, but I don't
wasn't
think
her.
it was her.
was it
Wasn't
Ali?
her. Yeah, because Ileana was at my apartment. Her cousin Ileana, who's one of my closest friends in the industry, was at my apartment, and she was like, "Oh, Nueve Uno," because I have a lot of tequila, and I have a much smaller space where all the tequila is. So you walk in, you can't miss
Still an awesome collection.
Can't miss it. I think it's around 900 to 1,000 bottles, but that includes little bottles too. But
Yes.
when you think about the fact that it's all crammed into like about 200 square feet of my apartment, it's funny. Anyway,
Yeah.
I have 200 square feet more here than at the bar.
I have a large apartment, but like
That's good.
not when you have 1,000 bottles. Like it's just yeah.
No.
So you mentioned our friend Ileana Partida.
Yeah, right. So I want to transition to an Ileana conversation because you did something amazing recently that I did 4 years ago, and I love Ileana for it. So Ileana was in my apartment. She saw the bottle of Nueve Uno. I said, "Oh my God!" Like she goes, "Oh, this is my cousin." I was like, "Oh my God, that's so cool." And then like we got to talking, and that's one of the beauties of TequiLadies. Like we talk to a lot of people from a lot of these brands. They have that doble reposado. That's very cool. But Brad, you hung out with one of my favorite people. And Ileana has this race, Carrera del Agave, every year it's a 10K. And my first ever trip to Guadalajara was around this race. It was in 2022. It had been pushed from its typical January race time to March because of pandemic. And I corralled Hazel and Lauren to go with me, and we all did the 10K. And I swore that I would do it again in another year and do it again. And every year the timing just like didn't work. And this year I was like, I'm doing it. And then I tore the labrum in my hip. And and as I mentioned before we went live today, I ran 5 miles today.
That's
and
awesome.
Ileana said to me, she goes, "You're not allowed to run it unless you have a doctor's note." And my doctor was like, "You can't run." So I either need to find a doctor who would write me a note. But anyway, so Brad, you ran it. Tell us about it. Tell everyone how awesome it is.
Dude, it's the coolest. It's the coolest race. My wife did it with me. My wife Tony. We actually have a video coming out just in a couple of days. We did a recap of the whole race with pictures and videos and pictures of Todd Hummel, the owner of Evolution 12.
That's my boy.
Evolution 1250. I say it wrong all the time. He pointed that out, so I've been really Evolution 1250. And
However you
then
want to say it.
Ileana. So we had a blast. I actually ran the Disney Marathon the Sunday before.
What?
So
I remember you said you were going to do that.
This guy hosts podcasts, does mortgages, runs, plays music. Like, what don't you do, Brad?
my kids are grown up, so I have to fill my time, and I'm one of those ADD people that don't sleep a lot. That I don't sit still very long. So
Dude, get an Aura ring.
is that what I need?
Oh my God, my ring yells at me all the time. You got to get one. It's awesome.
Okay, I will look that up.
We'll talk about that later. I want to
We'll
find
go on
out.
the Aura ring in a sec. I want to hear about the race because
Yes.
this is awesome.
So the race is awesome. There was 1,000 runners, and we lined up and hung out, at the start. And Todd's like, "Okay, I'm probably not going to run with you guys, but I'm going to run." And Todd's a runner. He's ran marathons all over the world. He worked for New Balance for a long time.
What?
He's ran half marathons, and he pointed out that this is the most scenic run that he's ever done in his life.
Ever.
And I've ran the Honolulu Marathon, the Disney Marathon, the Indy 500, the mini marathon is really cool. You get to run inside the Indianapolis 500 track. It's pretty cool.
That's
It's
so
not as pretty.
How
but
many
pretty.
laps?
Just only like half. You like maybe one full lap, because you run the rest of the streets of the town.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you're like a race car. You're just
It gets so boring. You're doing Actually, my partner that ran the mini marathon or ran the Disney with me, he's my podcast mate. We did it as a challenge. I said, "Would you like?" I just finished the Honolulu. I said, "You should run a marathon." He's like, "No way." I said, "What if somebody gave you $1,000?" And he was like, "Well," and I said, "What if we gave it? What if this show raised $1,000 to your favorite charity? Then would you run?" And he committed to it. I was already going to run, so I said, if the show raises $1,000, I'll double it. We'll give $2,000 to your favorite charity. We actually raised $4,000 for a local school food pantry for him to run this marathon.
That's amazing.
We had to train one day, and it was cold here, so we went to the high school where he used to teach, and we did a half marathon on the track above the gym,
No.
which is like
Hold on.
100
So
laps.
A mile is 4 laps.
No,
You
a mile was 8 laps. It was a gymnasium, not an outdoor track.
So, okay, and you did a half marathon, so you did 13 times 8.
Yeah,
Wow.
I can do
it
that.
was horrible. It
Hold
was
on.
absolutely horrible.
104.
Yeah,
104
Ari, you
laps.
won 104. You did 104 laps?
On this little bitty track with only 3 lanes, and we just kept counting them off, and it was so boring. But
That's like 99 bottles of beer on the wall. You're like,
But it was for a
Yeah.
good cause.
and we couldn't do it outside. It was 15 degrees, and I'm like, I'm not running outdoors. I'd rather do the
Absolutely not.
stupid track. We actually halfway around we turned and went the opposite direction. We felt like we were getting really wound up, so we thought we'd unwind a little bit. Maybe
Did you
the
run
knees would feel
backwards or
better.
sideways?
We did not run backwards.
holy
So yeah, it was pretty fun. But
Wow.
Ileana's
on this
run,
race.
the
like-
beauty to her run is it's downhill.
It's
like-
downhill.
It's a 10K that runs like a 5K. And the beauty of what you're running through is absolutely amazing. A lot of people don't realize when you get to Amatatan or you're going to the Highlands or whatever city you're going to and you're down there, it's blue agave everywhere. It's so cool. It's like cornfields in Indiana, they're everywhere. So when you get the opportunity to be kind of immersed in this run, which keep in mind you're running in a UNESCO heritage site, which there isn't very many of those throughout the world.
There
Yeah.
you are.
Look at
And
that.
that was your first time there, wasn't it, Marissa?
My first ever trip.
That had to
Mhm.
blow your mind. And
And I'm
then,
going kind of slow because I just had a medical procedure and it was the first time I was running in like 60 days. I am a runner. I've run, I don't know how many half marathons I've done because I've
they're
done a
fun.
ton. Never
And
full though.
when you turn at that, there's a turn when you go down into the canyon and you're looking over the San Martin Mountains, and you look down in this canyon, and it just gives you this huge perspective of really the ground you're at, the history of what you're running through, but also the roughness of the terrain. And you look up in these mountains and you see these agaves up there, and the people. I mean, I think we were outside of one crazy Canadian named Todd. We were the only gringos there,
Oh yeah.
and everybody was so nice and so happy. And you finish in the little town of Chom. Yeah, there you go, San Martin
Coming
Mountains,
down
the deep canyon.
I could have
So
gone faster if I put my freaking phone down.
yeah, I
You need
did.
a
I did a
GoPro.
little bit. I didn't do as much as I wanted to, but I did a little bit. But my wife and I were stoked. We finished under an hour.
Oh,
So we cranked it, and then
Todd-
Eliana got to finish. We hung out. It was a great time.
And Todd didn't run with you, right? He stayed different.
Yeah, we lost Todd at about I'm going to say about 57 feet. He
I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Because I've run with people who are like, "Oh yeah, like don't wait for me," and I'm like, "Bitch, I'm not."
yeah, he looked. I looked back,
Well,
and he's
Hazel
like,
was with you
"Go."
and she walked, right?
Say that again.
Hazel walked, but she didn't just walk. She walked so slow because she stopped and took pictures. She walked so slow that the banner was pulled down like right as she was approaching. She's the only person who did the race who didn't get to go through the banner.
But
Did
she
they hand
did
you
it.
tequila at the finish line? They handed us tequila
Aw.
at the finish line.
Hang on 1 second.
Yes, Brad.
He's got his bottle too.
A bottle and a very cool medal.
Mm.
And I got to meet Ileana. So this is the finish line.
Have you ever opened that bottle or no?
I can't. It is one of my favorite bottles on the Tequila That Cares Foundation's website. They ask us like, what's your favorite bottles? And that is one of them. Will perennially be my favorite bottle.
Aww.
Very cool.
What is
this
that,
was
Brad?
actually the shirt that they made. Too.
Stop! That's what they gave you this year?
Yeah, so that's the
God
front
damn
of the
it.
bottle. Then the back of the bottle is the lightning bolt hitting the agave.
Love it.
I love Ileana.
And then, they had a story about the lightning bolt. And then on this side, you did get the Ultima Agave Nom 1522.
Brad, I'll be honest with you. I know
cool.
the race was on that Sunday, like 2 weeks ago. I, on Friday night, looked at airfare.
Oh, you should have came.
I looked at airfare. The problem was the only flight left, because it was pretty sold out, the only flight left, because it was that holiday weekend, was going to get me in at like 11 p.m. on Saturday night. And then the only flight out was like Sunday night. So I was looking at it going, okay, the airfare is obscenely priced, but also I'd get in at like 11 and then have to run this thing. But I was very seriously looking at it because Ileana's like, you may not run it. Like, I know you're injured, don't run it. And I was like, I'm running anyway, so I should.
Well, let's make a commitment today to run it next year.
I'm done.
My wife and I are in as well. Todd's in as well, and I
Yeah.
want to see really how many content creators that we can get involved to do it. And I know
Only
that
cool ones.
the money that we don't want to do.
Quality over quantity, man.
So the
I
money.
would do it, but I would walk, but not
That's
as slow
fine.
as Hazel. I would speed walk
You
and
can
You
walk.
got to
jog.
speed walk.
I would jog, walk, jog, walk, jog, walk.
But let's do this because the money goes to a charity, and this year it was kind of undisclosed. The years before, they've done different charities before. But if we're going to do it, and we're all going to band together with a platform, let's use that platform to really raise some money for the charity for the people in Amatotan. Like
Yeah, love it.
I think we do something crazy, and be able to do maybe twice what the whole run provides to a charity. And Ileana works so hard to put this together. And what's cool about this year is she did run it as well.
I know. So she wanted to run it. I was like, I'm going to run it with you. She trained the day before. I was like, girl, this is what you have to do. You have to eat these foods. You have to drink these drinks. You have to do these things. And in the morning, do that thing. And she's like, I didn't even think of that. I was like, girl, I wanted to run it with her. Wait, Brad.
She's never run it before?
No,
she's
she always
running
works.
around organizing it.
Yeah, it's a lot of work
Lot
to
of
do
work.
the whole thing.
Okay.
Brad, my bigger guy is that I didn't come this year. I have an idea. For every 1,000 we raise, is how many shots of tequila we have to do at the start.
That's fine with me.
At the start,
Just so you know,
Or
I
throughout the race.
I buried off a bottle of about a half a bottle of Agrasol literally the night before the Disney marathon.
I will admit that sometimes I drink tequila, and when I take Maya out for her walk, I have like extra energy.
It's true. And
It's
things
true.
they don't hurt as much either. Like nothing hurts.
My favorite game in my 20s was going out and like having a heavy night of tequila, and then the following morning waking up and just there's a website called Running in the USA. I'd wake up at like 6 or 7, look up Running in the USA and see if there was a race nearby, and I would just go run it and win it for my age group. It was like a thing I used to do. One year,
After you drink tequila?
well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One year I ran this, so there's this very famous nightclub in the Jersey Shore, on the Jersey Shore, called DJ's, DJAIS. And my friends and I had gone out pretty hard the night before. And we got home, maybe slept a few hours, and I knew DJ's had a race the next day, a 5K. And my house was like a mile from it. So I ran to the race, and then I went and ran it. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna go home. Like, there's no way I placed. Like, I think I was doing 7-minute miles. Like, that's not like mid sevens. Like, that's not enough to win it. So I went home, and as I'm walking home, one of my friends, who's like a big runner, she texts me. She goes, "Get back here! Like, you placed. You got 3rd place." I was like, "I did."
No way.
So then I ran even more miles, and then I get home. My friend is still in bed, and I'm like, "Hey, girl," and I'm like holding a medal, and she's like, "What? Fuck." I was like,
Yeah,
"No,
what did you just do?
I want to race." Tequila. I was drinking vodka, tequila. Green tea vodka back then, because I'm old enough that was popular 10 years ago. But
Well, a buddy and I, we started our mini marathon, the Indianapolis 500 mini marathon, and we chugged a beer right before the start and then took off and ran. That's a horrible idea.
no, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, because you have to pee like at mile 3.
Yep. Yep, that's a bad idea.
Marissa,
bad
tell me
idea.
the things you're supposed to eat and drink the night before. What do you do?
Nothing
Tequila,
new, only tried
nachos,
and
and
true.
tequila.
Yeah, well, so nothing new, only tried and true. So when I did my race, I would follow Hal Higdon's training plans, and I would try all the different foods on my long run days to make sure that I had this right. When I lived in San Francisco, I ran like maybe 3 or 4 half marathons, like in the span of like about a year maybe. And I would just run one and then like give myself a month off, and then train for one and then give myself a month off. Anyway, you're supposed to eat, well, what worked for me was simple carbs with a bit of like a nut butter, and then like I put agave syrup on it, because you want something that has some sugar but like a lower glycemic index sugar. And that's what I would do. And then I would eat the goose if I was running for over like 90 minutes at around 50, and then again at like, let's say half hour later, I would do the goose. But yeah,
You would do the what?
they have like these goo things that you're.
Oh, okay, got it.
Glycerin and protein and caffeine. I had no regiment at all. Ate whatever. My key was to run daily, usually 1 day a week off. Build in those runs. But I'll say for the Disney, I did a horrible job training. The Honolulu, I was really big. I lost 50 pounds, a little over 50 pounds, getting in shape to run the Disney. My wife did as well, and she had a regimented time frame that we ran every day together.
Awesome.
Running with a buddy that lived on 30 minutes on the other side of the town was a little bit harder. We didn't get together. I had a confidence that I could finish it. So, my 3 to 5 miles a day, and then I'd skip 2 days and go, I better run like 12 on the treadmill today. And I'd run 12 on the treadmill, and then I'd skip a couple days. And so this year for the Disney, I was really horrible at training, but I did beat my Honolulu time by 4 minutes. So.
Okay, no joke. One of my best half marathons I signed up for a week before, trained 0%. I just knew that I'm like generally like about 70. Back then, I used to be like 70 to 80% ready at any time to run one. And about a mile in, it was in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and you run through Harvard's football stadium and all that. About a mile in, my Nike running app just resets. And so I'm flying blind. I don't know how I'm pacing. I don't know anything. So I just relax and just start running. And it is the fastest half marathon I've ever run.
No kidding.
And my goal was to break a certain number, and I missed it by, no joke, this is not a joke, 3 seconds. And what kills me about that is that last mile, I was kind of just cruising. I was like, there's no way I'm going that fast, so whatever. Had I known, I
Mm.
would have busted it. I like kind of like moseyed over the finish line, like ba 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 ba. So I'm a little disappointed, but I guess it was one of the most enjoyable too, because I just there was no pressure, and I
Sure.
just like enjoyed it. And then I sent my friend up with somebody in the parking lot on the way home.
That's
So,
awesome.
Brad, how many marathons have you run?
Just two fulls. Those
And
this
how many
last year's.
episodes have you had of your show?
Oh, I know I have 670. I think 670 up 698 videos on YouTube.
698 interviews that you've
No
done?
videos.
Oh, videos.
I
Okay.
do an interview a week. So I started
Oh,
doing the
guys,
interviews like September of 24, and I've done an interview every single week since.
just like us.
Yeah.
So awesome.
That's amazing.
Okay,
And
so
how do you go about like finding your guests? What do you do? Is it just people you meet and like Marissa goes out, she drinks, she meets people, she puts them on
so
the show.
so that like
That's my process.
yesterday I interviewed Ted Genoways, the writer of the Tequila Wars book. So I will have that one edited soon, and it'll come out in a couple of weeks. I met Ted in the pool at Gloria Agave Hotel last weekend. He was in Tequila. There was this couple that worked for Cuervo that were in the pool, and my buddy Dave and my wife and Jamie and I were all hanging out up there. And this guy comes around the corner, and he's like, "Hey, dude, I know you." And I was like, "Oh, he's like, oh, I'm Ted. I wrote Tequila Wars." I'm like, "Holy shit!" Like, and then he gave me this great bottle of tequila made by Jose Cuervo that I can tell you is the first time I've tasted a Cuervo tequila that wasn't from the 70s that was very good.
Take
And
it.
it's called the 1902. They're making it the right way. They're putting a twist back to trying to make something traditional because they understand that there's two types of tequilas out there. So if you're in tequila, go to the store on the street and it's in the store. I did not know that, so I only had the bottle he gave me.
Jose Cuervo, 1902. I Googled it and
It's,
it's not,
maybe it's 1906 or
but
1908.
it's not a rent, like it's not,
It's not something you can buy. You can only get it at the distillery.
Oh,
Yes. And it's a very small batch. It is stone
1906 it's called.
1906. There you go. Stone oven.
I will be there next month and I will look for it.
And get it. I'm
Yes.
telling you.
Girl.
Now, let me say
I'll
this.
get one.
For all the people that just heard this and now are having a heart attack because I said I like Jose Cuervo, it's not the greatest tequila I've ever had. I'm not saying that, this is heart
You're dead, Brad.
tequila.
Done.
What I'm saying is, and Ted talks about it in the interview, is Mr. Beckman today wanted to do something to honor the tradition of tequila and make something more in the profile of potentially what Jose Cuervo drank back in those days. And if you think, here's something that's kind of amazing. We get mad at column stills, right?
Well,
Well, Sabono and Cuervo were both using column stills in the early 1900s, right?
Yeah.
Column stills were a thing. We were at Jimmy Salsa sitting up at the house in San Martin, and Jimmy's like, "Well, don't think a column still."
Jimmy who
What's
uses Hacienda de Oro.
Correct. Yeah, Jimmy who makes.
Jimmy who doesn't believe in terroir.
No, he does. We've had a talk about that a little bit. Want me to bring him in?
Yeah, bring him in.
You know what?
Well, he came on our show and he's like,
Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I think sometimes when people say terroir doesn't matter, I think really what they mean is that there are so many other variables in the production process that can manipulate the final product.
Jimmy thinks fermentation is the key.
I do too.
But
Yeah.
we've talked about the terroir of water. So he does believe that every distillery is going to have some distinct taste that's coming from the water they're using. You think about the 4 distilleries that are allowed to use the real, volcanic water that El Tequilano gets to use. That's going to present a certain flavor. We've talked about agaves a little bit too. He does believe that there's a terroir there, but it's not as important potentially in his opinion of what you do with fermentation, cooking, and distillation. So
I agree too. But wait, you mentioned four distilleries are able to use volcanic water. I haven't heard that. What is that?
So the actual water that's coming from the volcano is only 4 distilleries tap into that. I know that one of them is Volcan, the other one is El Tequilano. I believe the other one is Fortaleza, And I would be lying if I told you exactly who I know the fourth one is. I would have to Google it to tell you. But we were just explained that while we were there.
Wow.
That
You
uses
yeah.
volcanic water.
Yes, the water that's coming straight from the volcano.
From the volcano. That's why you would hope Volcan uses the volcanic water.
Okay, so we're gonna get the old Chat GPT out and answer the exact question.
That's amazing.
Interesting.
Wow.
I would have thought that a lot of the places in Tequila are getting water from there,
From the volcano?
from the volcano.
So there's a actual water that flows from it, and then other people have wells, right? So they may be in the same aquifer,
Yeah.
but the access to the actual water is 4 legitimate distilleries. One of them being Fortaleza, the
All right,
other one being
everyone
Is
in
it
the
a
comments.
spring? What is it?
Whoever's in the comments, if you have a guess what you think it is.
who is yeah.
We got some people in the comments. Give them an extra 30 seconds because there's a bit of a delay in the comments.
Why can't I see the comments?
I don't know, they're not coming in on there tonight, but I have them on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm checking it on my phone.
Okay.
So okay, someone said they're drinking siempre añejo. We love that for them. Someone said we don't have any guesses yet. We need a guess.
Yeah, we need some guesses.
Venture a guess.
I keep finding the 3. I can't find the 4th.
So you need time anyway. That's perfect. What are the 4? We've got Fortaleza, we've got El Tequileño, we've got Volcan. What is the 4th that uses the volcanic water? I mean, if I had to guess, I have a guess. All right, I've got a guess. And Heidi, do you have a guess?
Mm-mm.
You've got a guess. Come on. What do you have to lose?
Okay, that use
I'm
volcanic
just thinking
water.
about the places, the tequila brands that are in that area.
And you said which one? You said Volcan,
There's Volcan, there's
Fortaleza,
Fortaleza, there's El
Cascajuin.
Tequileño.
Did you say Cascajuin?
Cascajuin is not in the town of Tequila.
My guess is Arete.
Oh, in the town of Tequila. Which one? Arete?
That's my guess only because of the proximity to the other distilleries, not for any other reason. Volcan's not in the town of Tequila either, though, is it?
It's not, but it's at the base where the river runs. So
Right.
I believe it is Arete. I believe it is Fortaleza, El Tequileño, Volcan, and Arete.
Okay, so Google is saying it's just to show that Google
Oh my
is
God, wait, sorry, this is a really funny comment.
It's saying cenote tequila uses volcanic water filtered through Jalisco landscape. It's also saying flecha azul.
Oh,
See, so Flecha Azul is made at Orandine, which is right behind the town of, right behind El Tequileño, right? Right
Yeah.
along that same waterway. So if they have a well, then they would be using water that's potentially from that same aquifer that would be from
Okay.
there. But it's different from the river that flows out of the actual.
yeah. Also,
Yeah,
Flecha
yeah.
Azul, please. All right,
Is it
so
a
wait.
river? Is it a river or is it
Yeah.
a spring?
But
Or
It's a spring. You've left El Tequileño and crossed over that bridge past that amazing smell, right?
oh, I thought the smell was from fermentation.
No, when they
Oh,
open those autoclaves right there at the front of El Tequileño, when you're leaving
it's
Casa
really
Sayas and you're walking across to go to the tasting room, you get the smell.
I actually haven't been to the distillery. I've
Oh,
only
okay.
stayed at the
You don't know what I'm
hotel.
talking
Yeah, but
about.
at the hotel, though, you get that smell. It's amazing.
The
Yeah, you
smell
can
was
smell
like
cooked
nothing
agave
but
all night long.
sulfur.
I'm going to read the guesses.
Yeah.
Someone guessed Don Fulano, which is a good guess, but it's not in the
Yes.
same region.
It is in the same region. It's just at the end of the block.
Yeah, but it's not like, but
It's
they
not
sort
hooked to
of-
the water.
I don't know about the water for them, but they tend to be they're known more for their French oak. Like that's like a thing they're
100%.
known for. But that is a very good guess though. Someone else guessed Tequila Ocho Blanco, that I guess they didn't guess that. They said that's what they're drinking. Someone else guessed Arete, so you and I are on the
Tequila
same.
Ocho.
No, I asked
what they're
the question,
drinking.
I asked what people were drinking, and that's
Oh,
what they're
got it.
drinking.
Okay.
Drinking. And then my favorite comment is from Alex, who's this unbelievable bartender in New York City, and he said, "We're afraid our guesses are going to be wrong, and we're going to get yelled at on Facebook."
On all things agave.
plus.
Just don't go on that page. And
You
say
just
what-
have all things tequila, they won't make mad at you.
A+. Oh my God. Oh my God.
It was something new to
Yeah, if
me
you're
that-
in Midtown, by the way. Well, I guess it's not really considered Midtown. I guess it's considered, is it Flatiron? It's like in the 20s. You have to go. It's just like And I want to get the name because I always screw up the name. I think it's called Sentir.
Sentir, that means to feel.
Yeah, Sentir, West 19th Street.
Sentir.
Tacos Way. It is called Sentir. It's on West 19th, and I want to say between 7th, 6th, and maybe is it 6th? Between 5th and 6th. Boom. Okay. Took me long enough.
I know there's somebody out there that 100% knows the answer.
I guess it's kind of near Union Square. Whatever. Anyway, come to New York. We'll take you to these cool places. So, wow, this conversation has been fun. You are fun.
Yeah, it
we
has
talk
been
all day,
fun.
and we will one day when we meet.
Yes.
We are at the end of our first full month on YouTube, which is pretty cool. So next month is February. It is a short month, but we have 4 episodes. First episode is Casa J Tequila, speaking of New York City. This girl is from New York City, grew up there, grew up in Manhattan. I don't know if you've seen Gossip Girl. If you've seen Gossip Girl, people do grow up in Manhattan. Anyway, she started a tequila brand called Casa J, and she gave me a bottle last week. We were at the Sip and Guzzle anniversary party, and she gave me this bottle. It's very cool. I'm going to try it again. I tried it that night with not a fresh palate, and I need to try it with a fresh palate. So she's going to be our guest next week, and then we have a pretty full slate. We're trying to figure out, there's the next 2 episodes, I'm trying to flip the 2 people, so I'll announce those once that happens. And we are currently booking for kind of like July, August, but there are a few people in between, like a few cancellations that we're looking to fill. So if
One
you have-
in May, one in June.
Oh yeah, one in May, one in June. So if you have a brand and you want to talk to us, like Alto Canto did last week, Dire messaged me. He's like, "Yo, I want to come in," and I was like, "Okay." And that's why I'm trying to switch the 2 because he could do one day but not the other. Just message us, and if you want, you can say mean things about us on the internet. We handle that, like we did this morning. If you want, you can say nice things about us on the internet. I can show my mom.
But if you say mean things, let us know where you got the info.
No, don't, because it's fun to let trolls live under the bridges that they're
I so agree with you.
Brad, have you ever
Sometimes
had
it's
anybody
hard.
say anything mean to you? Because, like, you are a wealth of knowledge. So I would think usually whenever somebody knows a lot about something, you're always going to ruffle somebody's feathers. So has it happened
What's
to
the
you yet?
meanest thing someone said to you that you can remember?
I appreciate that you think I know a lot. I'm just
Well,
gonna
you're a
say
wealth
that
of knowledge. You
I-
have a lot of information.
I learn a lot from everybody that I listen to and talk to, and I try to be a sponge and soak it all up. But yeah, I can't say. I don't know what the meanest thing is. It's just sometimes the dumbest comment is the one that hits you to the heart that you don't even expect. To get you there is a guy that trolls everybody.
Oh yeah.
I finally blocked him, and then he messaged me via email, and I literally said to him, what's it like in your mom's basement, being so sad, and that all you can do is troll. So listen, if you're really going to be a man and you really want to prove to me that you're somebody, come on my show. Here's my cell phone. I would love to interview. I'd love for you to tell your point of view. So all of the people that you troll and say all these mean things to, that you can come share who you are. And he called me, and we had a great conversation. And I found out, you know what? He's actually a good guy. He actually really loves agave spirits and tequila. And what happens is he gets his feathers ruffled when he learns something or hears somebody say something that he believes isn't true, and he gets mad. And that's the only way he can deal with it. But we had an hour-long conversation on the phone, and I told him, I said, I appreciate, your perspective now that I know why you do what you do. You shouldn't. And I'm not going to unblock you because I don't have time for negative. I'm having fun. I'm trying to share what I'm learning. And if you want to teach me something, great, but it's not going to be through social media because I'm not going to unblock you because I don't have time for negative. But I'm glad you called me. And if you ever want to come on the show, you email me, and I will make sure that you get to share your point of view with everybody.
Wow. So you're talking on the phone.
Is he like a young guy or an older guy?
Can't really tell.
Oh,
And
okay.
I don't want to
People know his name. People know his name. He goes by a different name.
I don't want to make him famous. It's like calling out the guy who, did something that he wasn't supposed to. But
Yeah.
I mean, if he just heard this, if he's listening to it, but he can't because I'm on it,
I
so
don't
it's
think
been blocked.
he doesn't really follow us.
Um,
He's trolled every single one of us. At one point, people know his name. They know who he is.
mhm.
So he has a different name, that a different alias he goes by. Um, but yeah, Brad, I give you a lot of credit, like in inviting him in, right? And like having that conversation. I certainly do. Like when he says stuff and makes fun of my stuff, I just reply back and I go, "Ooh, tell me more."
Yeah,
Like,
come on the show. Come on. Hey, you don't like me, but come on the show. We'll see if
yeah,
anybody likes you.
yeah,
That's a
maybe you
great
know something I don't know,
response.
like tell me more. And a lot of times with bullies, when you do that, they don't have anything to substantiate it, and sometimes they do, and sometimes you have a conversation. Brad, I will tell you something. I wasn't planning to tell you this. I'll tell you this. The whole reason I know who you are is because someone was ripping on you, and I was like, the things they were saying weren't even like offensive. They were like, "Oh, this guy's on every day. Like this guy, like who does he think he is?" And I was like, "That sounds awesome." So wait, you're telling me he does this every week? And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, I do something every week. That's awesome. And that is the day I went and found you and followed you, Brad. And
Awesome.
then I reached out to you. I was like, "You're really cool. Like, love what you're doing." And you were the nicest person ever. So sometimes when someone's criticizing someone, it's actually probably out of jealousy. And if you're listening to
Insecurity.
someone criticize someone, it's up
Yeah.
to you to decide what you're going to do with that information. I took that information and I was like, "This guy sounds cool. I'm in." They took that information and they said, "Let's make fun of this guy for doing something consistently," which everyone tries to do and doesn't have the discipline for. So A plus to you. And I'm so grateful for those trolls, those
Yeah.
in-person trolls that introduced me to you, Brad, because now less than a year later, you are on our show.
No, I appreciate that. And you
It's a
think about
troll connection.
it, but
And,
if you
and after the show, I'll tell you who it was because whatever.
sure.
But yeah, seriously.
Think about how life works, though, right? I was told a long time ago, nobody ever throws rocks at a tree that's not bearing any fruit, right? So if you want that good apple, you got to throw a rock up there to get it down. But you're never going to go to just a maple tree and throw a rock at it. So a good fruit bearing tree is going to get rocks thrown at it. And that's how life is. And you always have this, story. Oh, that guy's so lucky. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm lucky. I got my girlfriend pregnant in high school. We got married after high school as 20-year-olds. We had 3 kids by the time we were 21. I was a bricklayer who
Wow.
got laid off. I somehow didn't go to college and worked harder than any person that I personally knew. And I always felt like I was less than. And whenever I met somebody, when I got into sales and I'd meet other salespeople, I thought, I'm not as good as that guy, but if I do 10 times the work that he does, I should be able to have half of whatever he has. Like 10 times the work should get me half. And that's been my philosophy in everything, in the sales careers I've had, in the businesses that I've built and sold, in the mortgage companies that I've built and sold. It's not about anything other than outworking everybody else and having a mindset of, I want to help and serve other people. And if I help other people get what they get what they want, I'll inevitably get what I want. But if I focus on what I want, then it doesn't work. And that's kind of the coolest thing about the content is when you meet a guy like Alex LaCroix or, Arturo and a person I'm supposed to tell you hi, Cristiano Moratans, from Villar. When you meet these people and you find out where their heart is and what they're doing, and I don't want to do anything other than help them get what they want. And it's been a philosophy of mine in business for many, many years. And I think it all comes back around. Good comes back around. Bad just fades away. Those people just fade away.
Yeah.
And you're genuine, you're yourself, you're authentic, you're not like trying to be a character or, do a skit or something, which skits are fun, they're fine sometimes, but you're just you, and I think that's another reason why people appreciate the information that you put out there is because you're authentic and your information is authentic.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm not
I mean,
creative
honestly,
enough to come up with skits.
authenticity is so underrated. Also, I'm throwing this up here because this is a cool. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're
Uh-huh.
on her daily feed. It's super cool. And so she's happy to get to know you. And then now that my computer restarted, I'm actually able to show things on the stream. Check this out. We're afraid
We're
our guests.
afraid.
Yeah, that's awesome right there.
Yeah, something
Because we're
when
the
my
meanest people.
when my computer restarted, it actually allowed me more functionality. So like, hey, love this for us.
That's
Um,
great.
yeah, it's kind of cool. You're inspirational, Brad.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Well, I don't think there's a better way to end this than on that note. That's a pretty incredible thing to say, and I think your positivity is infectious.
Mhm.
You seem happy, and I think you're only ever as happy as you allow yourself to be. And so, um, people want to be around people who are happy. People also want to be around people who are sad and mad and angry. But like people want to be around someone who has an extreme feeling, right? And
Yeah.
so, you're only as happy as you allow yourself to be.
Well, I want to cheers you guys. Need to pour a little of my glass, but
I
I
know.
also want to, throw a quick shout out to the Tequila Report.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
really happy to be a part of that. It's exciting to be on something with prestigious people like Heidi, and the things that Jay has put together, and what these, everything that's happening is really exciting. And for all the shade that was thrown at that too, I'm really excited to be a part of
Yeah.
it. So.
I was
Again,
happy.
like whenever something new and cool comes out or anybody's having success, people just love to try to tear it down.
They sure
Yeah, I
do.
was surprised. If I like, I truly was very surprised by that. But people hate whoever's at the top of the mountain, and Brad, you certainly are, and I would say Jay has done an unbelievable job.
Mhm.
The parallels in your stories are that your Instagram stuff is relatively new, but your tequila love is not new, and so
Long
people
time.
just
Yeah.
see the Instagram and they go, "Oh, overnight success." But
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, someone's loving what you're drinking, by the way. David is loving what you're
Well,
drinking.
thank you, David. I see Mr. Tequila Facts just said something nice too.
Yeah,
So
he's impressed with
good
this.
seeing you, brother.
Love this. I love that I can now do this again. I
Yeah,
wasn't.
I wish this was going on the whole time. This would be awesome. Well,
Yeah, it was, but my computer didn't let me. But now it restarted, and now it is. So we're good.
I want to say thanks to you guys. I mean, I
Thank you.
appreciate you asking me to do this, and I wish your show came on at 6 instead of 9, because I'm old and I go to sleep early. So on Tuesdays, your show is usually the thing that I'm like, one eye open, and then I gotta go to sleep. So I try to watch every week that I can, and I think you guys do a great job, and you really bring out really great information in the interviews, and you help me in my interviews, because learning how to interview to me was a hard thing to not make it about me, right? I'm a sales guy. I'm good at making it about me. So the way that you guys interview and bring information out from people and making like me feel so comfortable to be here, and I haven't been on this side before. So you made it really easy and really fun. So thank you so much for what you do, and thanks for having me on to do it.
Well, thank you so
Aw,
much.
thank you.
We do learn a lot. Like having done 206 episodes, we've certainly gotten a bit of a groove. But I'm always a little cognizant. Heidi, you and we tell stories the whole time, and we can't help it. So
I
I'm
love it.
glad that you don't think we're making it about us. I sometimes think.
But we're thinking in our head, okay, shut up. We need to talk to the guests now. We need to find out
This-
about the guests.
Here's the advantage of not doing live. I edit me out all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Oh, I don't. I'm not editing anything. Well, now we're able to, but I'm choosing not to because I don't want to. Someone just said that I am sheltered. I would love to know what that is about.
You're
Marissa.
sheltered, Marissa?
Yeah, here, I'm just gonna throw it up because whatever.
Mr.
I'm
Sheltered.
sheltered.
That's
Um,
Mr.
Marissa
Tequila Facts.
is sheltered. What does that
it's an
mean?
interesting take, and I would love for you to tell me more about that.
Yeah, come on, bring that out. I want to know
Yeah.
too.
Tell me a
Like-
little more. We were gonna end, but hell, I'll keep it open.
Man,
for a
I
minute.
hear
Tell me,
I'm
why
sheltered.
sheltered.
I just hear a Rolling Stone song.
Yeah. Oh, give me shelter. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I hear.
Those are like this is exactly an exact example of what we were talking about. People project onto you what they think you are.
So
Sure.
that must mean I'm unsheltered because they didn't say it about me.
Yeah, you're not.
They probably look at me thinking I don't even have any shelter.
Yeah. Meanwhile, if someone heard my story, I don't know. Who knows? But no, you know what? Maybe I'll come on Brad's show and pour my story out there.
You're
Maybe
going to. We're going to make that happen, and Heidi as well. So I'm not booked out as far as you guys are, so it'll be a lot easier. And I do record them, so we can sometimes edit things out.
I'm
but-
excited to hear about your music and I want to hear you sing. If we ever go on an industry trip together, we'll have to sing a duet.
That'd be great. There's a video of me singing at the Cultura 100 event that I went to. Yeah, you throw three things of tequila and me and a guitar,
Oh, same here.
and I have played all 5 stages of Tootsie's, the stage, Johnny Cash Kitchen, a bunch of places out on Broadway. It's a lot
I
of
played the
fun.
Bluebird.
I have
It's
not
been a
played the
really long
Bluebird.
time.
That'd be
A
fantastic.
really long time.
Also,
So,
thank you, David.
yeah.
David said that he's just poking fun because I'm the opposite of sheltered. Thank
It's
you.
good
I
stuff.
like so.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we get to hook up on one of these
Oh, I'm
industry
sheltered from
trips
Facebook
and have
cruelty.
fun
Okay,
together. That'd be cool.
I will agree with that. Mr. Tequila Facts, yes, I am sheltered from Facebook
Oh,
cruelty.
sheltered
Okay.
from
My
There
Facebook
you
Facebook
go.
cruelty,
cruelty
yeah.
happened before I was even 18. Like it happened while I was like in high school and all that. And people were asking for a sample of your duet. I think that certainly like we would love to see that.
We'll have to make that happen sometime. That'd be fun.
Yes.
You know, I've said a couple times to a few people that I would love to do like a party here at the house and just have it just for a bunch of the people that I've met doing content and come here with cameras off, no content needed, a step away from what we do. Because, you know, we go on these trips and the whole thing is about grabbing video and time and making videos to pull all the people in that we've met and not have to worry about doing anything other than having some drinks and telling stories and it not be about the content piece.
But yes, but then there should be a confessional. And people are only allowed to have a camera in the confessional. So much like MTV shows, like nothing in the party gets taped, but people can go into the confessional at random parts of the night and they have to like say what they're thinking, like what's going on. I'm like, what-
Okay, I could make that happen. We
That's
could have a
awesome.
confessional to
Bugs out
record.
there,
Where
like,
do you live?
doing karaoke.
Glenn? Where do you live?
Indianapolis, Indiana.
Indianapolis.
Northeast
Indiana.
side of
Wait, so
Indianapolis.
you're East Coast time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
there's a jog in there. It's stupid.
Okay.
I don't know why. Like you're
I
really,
thought you were central. I don't
you're
know why.
almost due south of us, but no, you just wiggle over a little bit. We used to not do daylight savings time. That's what the confusion is. Now we do, and so we're East Coast time. So
Okay.
yeah,
They've in the summer, the sun doesn't set till like 10 p.m.
yeah, yeah. It's stupid.
Wow.
I mean, I like daylight savings time personally, but now there's going to be hate in the comments because you know. I also like the fact that Southwest now has seating and they're going to have first class, so maybe I'll put them on a list that I might fly with them again.
How
And the
good
Wall Street
first
Journal.
class be on Southwest? Come on.
Do what?
What does first class on Southwest mean?
It's going to be a thing. They've now done assigned seating, and they're gonna start
Assigned
treating.
seating, but like how big can the seats possibly be on those
Well,
airplanes?
if they switch to making first
They use
class, they-
737s exclusively. That was one of the ways that they save money, was operationalizing every part of the process.
I
by
just say
flying
treat
them.
humans like humans. That's all I'm saying. People get mad at me if they want, but I didn't like flying Southwest because I don't. Where am I gonna sit? I want to pick my seat.
Well, so 6 days ago, the Wall Street Journal did the best and worst airlines, and Southwest came out as number one. So,
As
Number
the
one
best?
airline, what was the worst one?
well,
Available?
they don't tell you the worst as much as like they have their list. So let me show you this. If you're interested, I can show you because I am a Wall Street Journal subscriber, big fan.
Oh,
of
I
it.
can see all the comments now.
yeah.
Favorite one that you like to fly, Marissa?
What's that?
What's your favorite airline to fly?
Well, so my favorite is not necessarily the one that I fly. I fly United because I am originally from New Jersey and it was Continental Airlines that became United. So I have status on United and that's why I fly United. I don't necessarily believe it to be the best airline. A lot of people make a strong and compelling argument for Delta. Ed Bastian has been the CEO for a decade plus and has done an unbelievable job. The best CEO purportedly for United ended up having a heart attack. So he was doing great, Oscar Muniz, and then it just didn't go well. They've gone through Smizak, they've gone through so many people. So yeah.
Marissa should just be Marissa Encyclopedia, not just
No
Tequila
doubt.
Encyclopedia.
She's
Because
a
I swear to
genius.
God, girl, you know like everything about everything.
Well,
What
thank
stocks?
you.
What
I worked
stocks do I need to buy
Or
tomorrow?
Tequila.
I worked at GE Capital, and one of my rotations was it was called GCAS, General Electric Capital Aviation Services. So I did do a rotation doing FP&A for their aircraft financing.
So what's your favorite airline?
I don't have one. I mean, I think the European airlines are interesting, right? But generally the ones with the newest aircrafts as of 10, 15 years ago tended to be the Asian airlines, had the newest aircrafts. But that was 10, 15 years ago. Who knows now? You depreciate an aircraft over the course of a 15-year cycle, but the aircrafts are in the sky for decades and decades and decades and decades. We're talking like aircrafts from the 90s, in around 2012 when I had this rotation, were still in the sky. So they'd been depreciated more than half their life ago. So it's an interesting thing, and that's what Southwest did that made them so profitable early, was that they operationalized every part of their business on a 737. That's it. That's all they flew. So every pilot, every flight attendant, every maintenance person, like everyone knew how to handle the 737. I say every maintenance person. Really, the 737s, fun fact, and then I'll stop talking about aircrafts. 737s almost exclusively were owned by GE because GE made the engines for them, and GE would then lease them back to these airlines. The airlines have credit ratings in the C's and D's and B's, and so it was a tough business, but if somebody defaulted on their loan, you could just go grab the aircraft. It's not like houses or real estate where you can't just like take the building back. Like an aircraft, they had a whole team that would jump into the middle of the night and go like grab the planes. Anyway, it was an awesome rotation, and I don't have a favorite airline as a consumer, but
I am excited about Southwest assigned seating because, like, I have a flight in April to California, and I always connect somewhere, and it's usually not a lot of time, like 45 minutes to an hour. So it was really cool getting to like pick my seat so that when I get to my connecting flight, I'm toward the front of the plane and I can just get off really quick. And then for the second half, I was like, I don't care. I just picked a seat closer to the back because it was free.
yeah.
You know, so that's really cool to be able to do that.
We flew to Disney on Delta, and our first class had seats that you could lay all the way down.
Oh,
You need before and after Disney. Because
I looked at my wife
done-
and said, maybe we should start flying Delta.
well, I did Disney recently, and you get like between 20 and 30,000 steps a day, if not more. So yeah, you definitely need that rest. Anyway, this has been an awesome episode, as expected. No shortage of things to talk about. We have an exciting February coming up. March, we are doing exclusively female guests for
Very
Women's
cool.
History Month. We were planning to have a single barrel released, and then I dropped the ball. We were trying to have it released on March 8th, which is International Women's Day.
have
It
you
is-
had it?
Yeah, and
We'll talk about it off camera.
it is so good. But I digress.
It
Anyway,
is.
we're going to have an awesome March, an awesome February, and everyone have an awesome week in between.
Yes,
Heidi,
Thank you very much.
thank you so much, Brad. You've been an incredible guest and
you've been
incredible
amazing.
for the community. And excited
Keep
to-
doing what you do. You're very good at it. You're making a huge impact, and people really, really love what you're bringing to the industry. So thank you.
Thank you. It's
Yeah,
fun.
thank you.
Yeah.
Heidi, what do we tell them? What do we say?
We say we'll see you next and every Tuesday.
Oh wait, hold on. Oh, question: Are you two ever going to do an episode of each of you? We would love to know your stories.
Oh,
Done, so.
like interview each other.
Maybe that's the interview that I do with you guys.
You know,
Yeah.
Heidi, the next time someone cancels, or if we can't sort out that February thing, maybe we just interview each other.
Yeah, 30 minutes
really
on each
cool.
one of us.
Love that idea. That's a cool idea.
Mhm.
Or we just go back and forth.
Yeah, that's true. We can.
You end up
Or,
just
or
talking
we
about
can let
stuff.
Brad. Or we can let Brad do it. That would be fun too.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, thank you. Great idea. Heidi, what do we tell them? What do we say?
We'll see you next and every Tuesday.
See you next and every